What's up, guys? Long time no see. Sorry about that. I haven't been able to go to the theater as of recent, ever since I watched Sonic the Hedgehog. Link to that video in the description. But yes, I'm here because I want to talk about The Invisible Man. I watched it day before yesterday, and I have to say I fucking loved the movie. See the mic here. Yeah, got myself a new mic. Fuck. Where do I? That. Oh. Yep. Yeah. This is embarrassing. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah. Uh, the Invisible Man. Right now, The Invisible Man has to be my favorite movie of 2020. I mean, obviously, it's too early to call, but as of now, it's my favorite. It used to be Birds of Prey, and I still love Birds of Prey. I'm not saying that I don't love it anymore, but I found The Invisible Man uh, a lot more impactful, honestly. Mod thirsty. So, yeah, let's talk about The Invisible Man. I watched it day before yesterday on Thursday, literally the day that it came out here in Puerto Rico. Um, it wasn't planned, to be honest. In fact, I honestly forgot the movie was even coming out because unfortunately, my brother told me this a few days ago, and I do agree. The trailers for this movie were not flattering, honestly. It just looked like any other Blumhouse movie. And the problem is that before this movie, Blumhouse has just been putting out straight flops like Ma, Black Christmas, and right now Fantasy Island. And none of those movies are worth watching. I mean, I've never seen Fantasy Island, but I did see Black Christmas and I did see Ma, and I can tell you that they're not worth watching. In fact, Ma is so horrible that it's honestly laughable to watch. And Black Christmas, unfortunately, it's not even like so bad that you make fun of it. It's just straight up bad. But The Invisible Man is honestly a very amazing movie. I'm surprised at it. I didn't even know who directed it. I didn't know who wrote it. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that it was gonna come out. And as soon as I found out I was gonna watch it the day before Thursday, Wednesday, uh, I decided to watch the original, and I watched it, and the original is actually pretty fucking good. Um, the only bad things are the limitation of how dated it, the limitations because of how dated it is. I mean, it was made in the 30s, but with this one, they kind of took that element of the Invisible Man. They took some elements of the movie. I don't know if they took elements from the novel because I've never read it, but yeah, they took elements from the movie and they just switched it up. And instead of focusing on the Invisible Man, they focused on the wife on the Invisible Man. And the thing is that in the first one, the movie focuses just on the Invisible Man. Um, but he's not necessarily the good guy. I mean, he's honestly the villain. But despite him being the villain, he was never a villain to his wife. He was actually uh, amazingly nice to his wife. Like, he didn't do anything wrong to his wife. But he was just straight killing and harassing people with his powers. But in this one, they crossed that line. But they crossed that line with a point. They made the Invisible Man not only like an evil dude, but they also made him into an abuser who physically, emotionally, and psychologically abused his wife. And through clever writing, they managed to create this science fiction thriller story. I mean, this has been said by many, 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 many people. This is nothing new. Most people say this about the movie, but I have to still say it. This movie is a clever allegory about domestic abuse. And I don't know, like this movie managed to. It's just so hard for me to describe it because it's still, it's only been a few days and I don't want to spoil anything. But the movie managed to cleverly take stuff from real life, spousal abuse, and fictionize it in a way that's so relatable, even though most of the things that happen in this movie are very outlandish and crazy. Trust me. This is not like, oh, is she crazy? No. You know, this shit fucking happens. It's so amazing. And again, I just watched this on Thursday. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's Saturday. It took me a while to like gather my thoughts, and even now, they're still not that gathered. I'm still my thoughts are like scattered. Uh, but yeah, like the best thing about the movie is the writing, because of the clever use of fictionalizing spousal abuse in a way that's clever and organic, and it just puts you in the shoes of this victim, that instead of like letting herself become a victim, she becomes, well, not I think a better way of saying this, she becomes the prey, but then eventually, I mean, she doesn't become the prey. She starts as the prey, but then by the end she becomes the hunter. And when she becomes the hunter, after all of this shit the main character goes through, it gives you a lot of pleasure seeing her grow in that way. It's so amazing. The actress, the main actress, Elizabeth Moss, I think is her name, she nailed it. Like, she fucking nailed it. Just like how Florence and Lupita were like some of the best performances from last year. This is one of the best performances from this year, and I can guarantee you that the Oscars are gonna snub this movie, just for the fact that this movie is a horror movie. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, that's how it's gonna happen, honestly. But what else? The writing, the sound design also, because the movie has so many moments where it's quiet, like really quiet, like you can hear people breathing quiet. It goes so quiet, and you just feel like this anxiety inside you. Like it makes you feel like you're her, because you have to remember we're talking about a crazy ass dude who has the ability to be invisible. And while he toys with the character, he's also toying with the audience. Like the director purposefully makes everything quiet and mysterious. And you just don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. And you just wait for something to happen. And when it does, you still get like jump scared, kind of. But it's not really jump scared because it's just so different, because you're anticipating it, you're waiting for it to happen, and it happens, but you're still scared. That's how fucking crazy it is. Now, I'll admit, there's a couple of moments where, unfortunately, I feel like the director was forced to do a couple of casual jump scares, because maybe they wanted to, I don't know, attract the jump scare audience. People who love shit like The Nun and The Conjuring, all that bullshit. But despite that, it didn't ruin the movie, honestly, because it's just a few couple of times. But then you get like these shocking moments where you just, ugh. And I wish I could fucking tell you, but I just can't. I can't tell you, because that would be spoiling the story. Because a lot of the fucked up shit that happens is very story related, and you just, I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that. That's true for most movies, but yeah, I just don't want to spoil it, because you have to experience this movie, because it's so good. I feel like, well, yeah, I feel like right now, like movies are sort of like rising, because as of now we've only had like a few good movies, but most of them have been bad. But you know, that's what happens mostly through January and February. But yeah, this movie's worth watching, and if you can, try to watch it on IMAX. It's totally worth it. Trust me, because you know the speakers from the IMAX theater make everything 10 times better. I'm sorry, I'm drinking beer, and it's making me kind of gassy. What else can I say about this movie? Yeah, I think that's, wait, is that everything I want to say about it? I have to think, because I had a lot of things written down, but I just ripped it and decided to just say everything improvised. I think that's everything I have to say about the movie, because this is more of me trying to convince you to watch it, more than a review. If you want to see like my review on it, I will have a link. I'll have a link of my Letterboxd review on it. You know, if you want to see like my full in-depth review on it. But yeah, this is more of a recommendation video, because I don't know. I feel like I would need to say this, because unfortunately, one of my favorite movies of this year, which is Birds of Prey, even though it did make a lot of money, it didn't make as much money as I hoped it did. And I don't want the same thing to happen to this movie, because unfortunately some people online are kind of like mislabeling this movie, and you know, saying shit like, oh, this is a, god damn it. Yeah, it's the fucking beer. Yeah, people are sort of mislabeling this movie. When I say people, I mean film Twitter. I'm just being real. It's film Twitter. But the thing is that I'm seeing like a few people tweeting stuff about it that is kind of inaccurate, and what I'm seeing, like the common theme, is that they're saying that this is a very forced Me Too movie, and I can guarantee you that it's not forced. And yes, it is sort of influenced on on the Me Too era, but positively. It uses this how would I say this? It uses these fucked up incidents that are happening in Hollywood and everywhere, you know, all of these cases of abuse, and what it does is it just portrays it, you know, in a way where it puts you in the position of the main actress, the main character, and you feel literally everything she's feeling, everything, but not in a Lifetime movie kind of way. You know how Lifetime always has like these movies and series that are about you know, spousal abuse and all that stuff, and they just do it in a way that's just fucking bleh. They really don't care about storytelling. But this movie really does care about storytelling, because this movie, first of all, is directed by, I forget his name, but he's the guy that directed Upgrade, which is a very good movie. And he's the writer, at least, of the first 3 Saw movies. I've never seen the second or third Saw movie, even though I have the whole collection. But I saw the first one, and one of the highlights that this movie has is the writing. So, you know, if you want to see a movie directed by the guy who wrote Saw and directed Upgrade, and you've seen both movies, then this movie's fucking worth watching. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. So, like always, guys, like, subscribe, share this video, please, and see you in the next video.
Come here, girl. Go ahead, be gone. Come to the back.